What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Welcome back into another live stream here on JC's Pop Culture with me, JC, where you can see all kinds of pop culture content. Today, we're focused yet again, though, on EA Sports College Football 25 here for this live stream. Got a few big pieces of news that came out today. The first one I thought was going to be the biggest was, one of the major awards that previously we didn't think was going to make it into this game. One of those breaking free and will be in. Going to talk a little bit about that. But after that, we got some major news updates courtesy of Mike Straw from Insider Gaming. He's a very reputable source, sports gaming online as well. Everything that he has, reported on in the past has been, good as gold. So really, good to hear some positive things coming from his report, but a lot of new details that we haven't previously known before, including team builder, when the website's going to go live, some details about playbooks, gameplay, all kinds of different shit, guys. So, like I said, most of it positive. There are a couple little pieces that may, affect you negatively. For me, it was pretty much all positive minus, one thing that was a little bit negative. But before we get there, we'll kind of lead off with that Lou Groza Award news. But of course, want to encourage you guys that are in here live. Appreciate y'all being in here live as always. Drop any questions you have about the game in the chat, any comments, whatever about the news. Talk about any type of shit you guys want to here throughout the chat, as well as in addition to me touching on, some of the news that's came out today in regards to gameplay and this award and all that stuff. So no further ado, let's dive into that first with the Lou Groza Award. This is from On3. Lou Groza Award opts into the EA Sports College Football 25 game. The National College Football Awards Association, mind you, told On3 in March that awards under its purview would not be featured in EA Sports College Football 25. Did a video on this on the channel in the past. The only award that was believed to make it in was the Heisman. They did get it. Other than that, all the other major awards, your Maxwell, Davey O'Brien, Doak Walker, all that shit, not going to be in the game. I'm sure they're going to either have, custom names for those awards. Maybe they'll name them after famous players at those positions. That's an idea I heard that would be pretty cool, is if you did that instead. Or they may just go, the generic route, best quarterback, best running back, whatever. But they will have at least one of those in now. One award under the NCFAA umbrella has broken away and opted into the game. The Lou Groza Award will be in the game. It announced Tuesday afternoon. Trophies presented annually to the top college football kicker. So, hey, at least maybe your kicker can get the Lou Groza. Does this mean? Could this be a sign that kickers in road to glory? I don't know. Maybe I was reading too much into this shit, but you never know. But nonetheless, we do have that one in there. The list of awards that will not be featured in the video game include the Bednarik, Bolitnikoff, Davey O'Brien, Doak Walker, Thorpe, Maxwell, Outland, and Ray Guy. The Heisman Trophy will be included in the game, as I said. But add the Lou Groza to the award, as you guys probably saw on the thumbnail. Probably saw that shit making the rounds on social media today as well. But other than that, hey, Orlando, what's going on, bro? Good to see you in here, man. Hey, got that info coming, man. Got some good shit. Shout out to Mike Straw, guys. I'm going to try and link his video in the description, so you guys want to check out the full video. He talked for about 45 minutes, but he has seen gameplay for this game. I guess they showed him some footage and stuff. He couldn't share the footage because he got in trouble for doing that for, I think it was a UFC game or some shit. But pretty good info, guys. Let's get into some of it real quick. Leading off, I'm going to play a couple clips. First one here is just kind of very at the end of his video. He talks about team builder, and because we were all been wondering, hey, when's the website going to go live? We figured it'd go up before the game comes out and shit. That's how they used to always do it. Sounds like they're going to hold true to that. Let's hear exactly what he has to say on that.
Will Team Builder be go to live before the release? That's the plan. The plan is to release Team Builder the beginning of July. Like first week of July. Will that stay the case? I don't know, but that's the plan. Beginning of July.
So not bad news there at all. Beginning of July, Team Builder, we'll be able to have it a couple weeks before we dive into the actual game. That would be good, and I'm sure a lot of people are excited to hear that. Get on there, make you a team, have it ready for when you hop onto the game and play and shit. That should be pretty fun there. Let me see. Then other than that, I had to, of course, share this clip. Everything EA College Football shared this from his video, and then I'll pull up kind of a long list of all the gameplay notes and details that he shared for the most part. There's a nice list that was compiled over on Reddit. I'll pull that up. But here's one clip that'll get you excited. When he was talking about gameplay, he was talking about the option a little bit, and it seems like it's going to have some good features here. Oh, my bad. Didn't mean to close that off and pull it back up. Try that again.
Option offenses are going to play a big role in the gameplay in college football. I know that kind of goes without saying, but they've put a lot of effort into capturing proper animations, into making the playbooks as realistic as possible. Now, I don't know if every playbook is going to be accurate to the school. That is, I mean, that's a lot to get done. Just like when it comes to body types and stuff like that, 11,000 players are not going to get every body type in there for every player. However, the option offense is going to be a big part of the game, just like it was back in the day, but even more so because option offenses are just key. Option.
All right. So for me, that's one of the pieces that got me the most hype. When I pull up the full list, I'm going to point out something else. It's something I've talked about previously that I was like, this shit's got to be included or it might be make or break for me. It is included. So I'm happy about that. But that's kind of right up my alley for the type of offense I run. I like to run a little option offense, not flex bone or anything, more option along the lines, Pat White, Steve Slayton, WVU days, but I'm going to probably have to mix in a little RPO into it this time. And that's going to be a new feature we haven't had on the college football games before, but nice to see that the option sounds like it's working good. He also goes on to talk about, the pitches and the flex bone, everything looked really good. I guess, from the clips that he saw, a lot of it was option based. But I'm excited about that because that's one way I love to play for sure. Mario, what's going on, man? Let's go. Let's freaking go, man. Exactly. Got some good gameplay details. And man, I was gonna wait and try and go live tomorrow, but when this came out, I was like, screw it. I'll go live today and maybe tomorrow too, because I got a feeling tomorrow or the day after we're gonna get a lot of more details about this game. I'm sure you guys saw Matt Brown, some other reporters and stuff are in Orlando right now. I'm guessing at EA Sports. So, headquarters and shit there. So we're going to get some more details here in the next couple of days. And so might be having another live stream soon. But glad you caught this one, Mario. I know you said you missed the last one. So glad to see you making this one live. Buckman says, well, I'll be able to play with my friend on my team in my online dynasty. Like on the same team, Buckman, is that what you mean? Because I don't think that would be possible. I mean, online dynasties, everyone just kind of has their own team. But the only thing I can tell you for sure, as long as y'all have the same console, yeah, y'all can play online dynasty. Online dynasty was not going to be cross-platform though. There are some modes that will be, but online dynasty won't be. But he says yes. No, you can't, not on the same team in online dynasty. Now, offline dynasty, I don't know. We'll just have to see when we learn more details about that. But online dynasty, no, you can't be on the same team, unfortunately. Let me see here. All right, I'm going to pull up the full list now of kind of the notes from that stream that I shared those clips from. This is over on Reddit under the NCAA football series. There's a nice kind of full list of a lot of the things. And then I'm going to pull up the article from, Sports Gamers Online, which, Mike Straw works there, had worked there previously, I believe. He may do more of his own thing now, I think. But nonetheless, they kind of got in depth with some of his quotes as well. We'll pull that up too. But option offense received a ton of attention, new animations, tons of efficiency and speed. I like the way that they're moving fast. They highlight here could be OP. I don't think so. I mean, once you learn how to defend it, you can stop it. There's always ways to stop shit. I mean, I don't really buy into stuff being OP. It's like, find a way to stop it, man. It sucks. Sometimes it's hard, but you got to find a way, and there's always ways. You will notice when you use a 2-star player against a 5-star player, so good discrepancy, it seems like. I don't know if that's more talking about players on rosters now, or if they're talking about down the line when they played, Dynasty, trying to test this shit out. But either way, it's good news. Wear and tear matters a ton in longer games. You'll be able to tell by how he plays if a player isn't receiving proper rest. And he also mentioned in the stream that, like, with this wear and tear shit, that it's kind of more if you're playing like a more sim style, longer quarters, people maybe play 8, 9, 10-minute quarters or something. This will have definitely more of an effect. And it's also good though to note, because I think in college you do use your substitutions more. You have a lot of different sub packages and things. And also it just brings a different level into the coaching aspect of it in dynasty mode, whether they let you be a coordinator again, or if you only have to be a head coach. Either way, seems like there's gonna be a lot of decisions made on kind of a game by game play basis, not only, but also like a play by play basis, even in this shit. It seems like I think that wear and tear could be interesting because I know a lot of people are just comparing it to, well, it just sounds like, stamina like they had back on 14 and stuff. And yeah, to a certain extent, it does just sound like shit that they've had before. But the fact that they're featuring it and stuff to me means that I think it's going to have some different stuff tied into it. We'll see. As I stated there in a minute ago, Online Dynasty will not be crossplay this year, asterisk there with disc, something that they do want to do in the future. They just wanted to make sure, they got the main things right with this game, those being gameplay. And of course, we've talked about in the past here, Dynasty's been their key feature for this game. So they wanted to make sure that that was right, get all that shit, get their base layer done, the foundation right with this game. So, that's why one of the reasons Online Dynasty is not crossplay, it's going to come down the line, whether that's in a patch in the future or if it's just not till college football 26, we'll get it eventually. It does suck, to not have it here on this first one. I had a good friend that we were planning on doing Online Dynasty and shit with, and I completely forgot that he had an Xbox until they came out and said Online Dynasty wasn't crossplay. But most people that I play with do have the PS5 as well. But if your friend has Xbox, you have a PlayStation, y'all might need to work some shit out, and one of y'all make the switch if y'all want to play Online Dynasty together this year anyway. Mascot mode likely not in the game this year. I kind of told y'all this previously when we went through that ESPN article on the last live stream, because in that they kind of detailed that not all of the mascots were able to get into this version. So when they said that, that kind of immediately struck me kind of light bulb moment, like, oh shit, mascot mashups probably not happening. And that's the one piece, I said there was a couple pieces that may be disappointing in this news to you. That's one of two. To me, I don't really care. I never played it. I mean, I think I maybe played it once out of all the NCAAs I've ever played, once or twice, and if I did, it was just with friends. We were goofing off, having fun and shit. The times that I did play it was probably one stay out of those like jukes where you did the flips and shit. That was pretty cool. And I think maybe down the line, like you said, that's just kind of something that you add once you have everything else intact. You want to make sure you have all your ducks in a row this year. Dynasty functions good. There's no bugs, all the gameplay and shit's right. And then maybe down the line, you add that once you get all the mascots in. Deep dives coming soon, possibly this week, it says. And that kind of goes back to what I said earlier about a lot of those reporters being in Orlando right now. I think in the next couple of days, we'll get more news. Whenever it breaks, I'll probably try and go live again, or at least put out another pre-recorded video like I did for the Steelbook update yesterday. Madden and College Football 25 on the same engine, but the developers have done a lot to make College Football 25 feel different than Madden. Talked about that a shit ton. I think they're going to feel way different. Also hoping they don't include X factors and abilities and shit. Fingers crossed, guys. College football will play much faster than Madden. Many new animations, ton of new catch animations, which probably means a lot of 1 foot, catch animations, with you only having to get 1 foot in bounds in college. And that's going to be cool because that's even something, people talking about worrying about this being like Madden. Even back in the day when these games were releasing together, we still had a lot of the same catch animations. There weren't really a lot of 1 foot catch animations on the NCAA football series that I remember. So they're even going further with trying to separate the two here in the new generation, it sounds like. And this one's highlighted big because it's something that's really cool as well. Pretty exciting. Possible that helmets could get knocked off. Something they've kind of discouraged in Madden in recent years, ever since, CTE and concussions became a big thing and they've tried to relegate that. They don't want to really have, the big hits highlighted as much. They don't have the helmets knocked off in Madden. Could the college football game bring that back? That would be awesome. Not a full ESPN license, just the broadcasters like Chris and Kirk. No ESPN score bug. And that's the other one. I said there was, one or two things that weren't exactly that positive. Mascot mashup was one, and this was the other. And this is the one to me that's the most disappointing piece of news to come out of this. Everything else for me is pretty much a net positive or really positive. But this is one that kind of saddens me because it's kind of, I talked about in my wish list. If you guys saw that, one of the big things that I loved about NCAA football 14 that kind of set the presentation apart from the shit we get in Madden nowadays is, Madden's so damn generic, just the EA Sports, and it's not, you don't get none of the Fox or anything that you have, the CBS on Sunday. So it doesn't really give you that great feel, kind of like some of the old college football games did. So they do have the broadcaster, but they didn't get the full ESPN license. It's not going to be ESPN scoreboard. But he did go on to say there is still going to be the ticker at the bottom. It's just not going to be ESPN branded. And they are still going to do the in-game updates. So despite the fact that that's kind of disappointing that it's not ESPN branded, I do think the silver lining is they are kind of going back to 14 and still doing the in-game updates for you in dynasty mode and shit, and having the ticker at the bottom, keeping the scores of the other games, and all that's still going to be intact. They're just coming up with their own, branding for it. It'll probably just say college football or something, but hopefully they still do some cool work with it, and it looks pretty decent and everything. I think that they will, though, judging by how they've done with the graphics and everything. Hopefully that they're graphics package for the score bug and all that shit is still good. Going on, the easier schools will be really easy to play against if you're a bigger school, even on the harder difficulties. Example that he used was like Michigan versus Buffalo. I'm taking a swig of my water real quick, guys. Talking too damn much. Like I said, he was taking Q&A throughout this, so a lot of these just came from questions. Somebody asked about the yard, like in Madden, where you have that mode and shit. I don't know what it's called now. I don't really play Madden, but no, there is no mode like the yard for Madden in College Football 25. He reiterates this is not a bare bones game. It's a foundation building game, but everything will have a ton of replay value. He specifically mentioned Dynasty and Road to Glory. A lot of effort into how the offseason works in Dynasty. That's a big thing for me to highlight too, because obviously that probably means, transfer portal and shit nowadays. But I also wonder, does that mean that we're also getting fucking spring games? Something I talked about in my wish list, something we've all kind of been wanting to come back. They had it like in NCAA Football 07. Does that mean they're bringing that in? You never know. It's possible. Then next, this is something we talked about. So I do want to highlight this, though, because a lot of people are upset because they're thinking this means no customizable playoff at all. He didn't necessarily say that. All he said was you're not able to turn the playoffs off and go back to like the BCS era. And that's something we had all talked about. Would that be an option? Cut the playoffs off if I want to play BCS style and shit. Could I do that? Not initially on this one. You will not be able to. Maybe it's another thing that they add down the line, but do know that there is no BCS option for Dynasty. Another highlight about Road to Glory, it's all about becoming a huge star. NIL playing a big role in the mode. So it sounds like you're kind of going to be trying to climb the ranks to become one of the bigger stars in the game, probably trying to earn more and more money, get your NIL dollars up throughout your time in Road to Glory and shit. And they have also, highlighted that you're going to have to manage your schoolwork and stuff. So it should be a good mix of like what we loved from the past, the very early incarnations of, Race for the Heisman, Campus Legend before it was called Road to Glory, and then kind of the new age where they're bringing in the NIL. Good mix of the two, and that game mode could be a lot of fun, and I might play it, just as much as Dynasty. Usually I was strictly a Dynasty player after a while, but revamped Road to Glory, maybe get some good run out of it. College Game Day is not in the game, but there is a pregame show. But like we said, they don't have the ESPN branding, so it's not College Game Day. But the fact that there is a pre-show is pretty cool. Who knows what that'll entail? But, they did do some cool ones in the past. And we can tell from some of the stuff that they've highlighted already that it seems like they're going back and taking notes from stuff. So, you look back to what was NCAA Football 06, where you had the one and it kind of showed the guys in the studio talking about the game a little bit. Maybe they go back and do some shit like that. The fact that there is a pre-show is still a good point, I think, even though if it's not actually College Game Day. And then right here it is. Fucking A. My favorite point to come out of this. You guys have heard me clamor for it. I've asked you guys in the past, what is your favorite, thing or first thing you're going to do when you play the game? Because I know for me, it's going to get on there and make me a custom playbook as long as it was on there, because they hadn't, officially came out and confirmed it yet. But he does say custom playbooks are in the game. Hell yeah, that means I'm going to take about 6 to 8 hours as soon as I crack open this bitch and play a little college football. I won't be playing yet because I'm going to be making me a bomb-ass playbook and testing it out till I get it just right. And, of course, it'll always be some tweaks and stuff once you get into online Dynasty, figure out what works, what doesn't work, because what always works versus the AI doesn't always work against users and vice versa. But I always love having the ability to do the custom playbook, especially on the college game, because, you can look through every play on the game, and there's some really interesting shit through different teams' stuff. So I like to find a nice mix, kind of a multiple style offense, heavy run option based, but then I'll throw in some play action, deep shots and stuff, and a little bit of screen game. I like the screen game a lot as well. Recruiting is going to be deeper. Kind of expected that with the transfer portal being added as well. So not only you're recruiting high school, you're recruiting the transfer portal also. Team builder. The fuck am I talking about? Team builder is basic, but enough for people to be happy. Kind of thought that might be the case when, they announced team builder. They didn't say anything about like stadium building involved with it. But like we got to remember, guys, initial version here always can expand upon that as long as it works well, doesn't have any bad bugs or anything. The transitions work when they're downloading them from the servers onto the game and everything. That's the main thing. And the fact that it is back is, of course, the primary thing. more detailed subs kind of goes hand in hand with the wear and tear system. A lot of different equipment compared to Madden. Expected that. Kind of a lot of that we pointed out in the trailer breakdown here. Many different crowd reactions. That's interesting and shit. I like that because that kind of goes with the assets that EA picked up from a lot of these universities, specific crowd chants for first downs, back and forth crowd chants, that schools doing shit. That'll all probably be in there. Full gameplay footage by early June. So sometime in the next 10 days, which is kind of as expected. I know a lot of people were talking about when Madden, was dropping their trailers, they usually drop the cinematic one like we got last week, and then a couple weeks later drop gameplay footage. So that would fall right in line with that, and hopefully we'll get that in the next week or so. Mentioned the ticker going to be at the bottom of the screen. First true current gen football game from EA, ground up current gen, and that's a big thing to point out. We know that kind of Madden is been on current gen, but this is the first one that they're building up, ground up only on current gen. Madden existed back on the previous gen and then transitioned here and was still kind of released on both. This is the first one that's only on current gen, PlayStation 5 and Xbox, and built specifically for those. Will come to PC with future releases. Glad that they, pointed that out as well. Kind of expected that down the line that's going to happen. And the blocking in the gameplay looked good as well. He was pointing that out. So, woo, that was a lot to run through, but man, some big ass updates there, guys. I want to catch up on some of your all's comments here. Keep dropping them in there, any thoughts you guys have. But while you all do that, I want to throw a poll in here for you guys to vote on as well. What are you most excited from? Or most excited about, I guess, if I could use proper grammar and shit. What are you most excited about from today's news? And I think it only let me put like 4 options. So we'll go Team Builder release date. We'll go gameplay details. Just for my sake, got to throw my favorite, custom playbooks. And then 4th option, what it'd help if I kept the article up so I could look at it again. Bear with me, guys. I don't know where it went. Didn't even know I closed the tab. All right, here we are. Let's do what do I think people will be excited about? Let's just do kind of another big one that he talked about. Let's just throw option offense upgrades. I guess that kind of goes with gameplay details though, doesn't it? Let's do this. Let's do crowd reactions because that was a pretty cool detail. All right, so there's the 4 options, guys. I'm posting the poll now. Go ahead and vote in it. I'm going to catch up on some of y'all's comments while y'all do that. What are you most excited about from today's news? The Team Builder release date, gameplay details, custom playbooks, or the crowd reactions? Go ahead and vote on that poll. We'll end that here in a bit. Let me catch up with some of y'all's comments here after I take a swig of this water again. Talking too damn much, guys. Orlando, appreciate you sharing your thoughts, man, as always. A little to tune in and chime in, man. He said he's shocked that ESPN score bug and game day won't be in the game. Also a bit shocking that mascot mode won't be available either, but it's all good. Yeah, I think that definitely mascot mode will be something they add down the line. Now, will they be able to obtain that ESPN license again like they did on previous games? Who knows? But either way, I hope that the way that, whatever presentation that they have, they put work into it so the graphics look good and it does look dynamic and entertaining nonetheless. And, like I said, the silver lining for me is at least, the ticker's still back, the in-game updates and score updates and shit are still back. So that's the plus side of it, really. Mario says he's loving the fact that helmets come off. Yeah, that's an awesome detail. Hopefully whenever they showcase gameplay, they show us a little bit of that. Let us know that it is in there. Definitely. True, true. Targeting. That's the thing that we got to take into aspect on this. If you hit that hit stick too high, maybe you will get caught for the targeting if that helmet comes off. You might want to make that helmet off animation pop, but if you do, you might have to pay for it with that targeting call and shit. You never know. Dogs Nation 43, appreciate you, man. I'm super excited about the deep dive too. Let me pull up, see if I can real quick. Pull up Matt Brown's Twitter because he has talked about being there in Orlando. And I think some other accounts there have retweeted it and said, expect news tonight, tomorrow, the next day, sometime there. So, yeah, let's see. And, of course, Mike Strahl today on that stream was talking about it as well. But you see Matt Brown earlier today flying to Florida, Orlando now, obviously, at EA. Other people are there too that are, big names. So seems like we'll be getting some new information here in the next couple of days, and that deep dive's going to be fun, man. And I can't wait for it because my plan is, hopefully they give us deep dives on, whether it's just gameplay or whether it's each. I'm hoping it's like each mode because I would love to be able to do separate videos, one talking about all the dynasty details and then another video talking about all the Road to Glory details, another video talking about gameplay and shit, and just do a ton of deep dives here on the channel as well once all that info comes out. So I can't wait. I can't get here soon enough, Dogs Nation. Buckman said he's turning off targeting on his shit. Hey, I don't blame you at all, man. Mario says BCS was a trash system. It kept my Razorbacks out a few times on the earlier versions. Yeah, man, I wanted college football playoffs for so long. I think I remember like back in middle school or something writing a paper about why playoffs should be in college football or some shit like that. And then I was so excited when it eventually happened. But I agree, man, BCS was not that good. Tim Green, what's going on, man? See you popping over from the Country Roads webcast channel where I cover WVU football. Did a live stream on there earlier tonight doing a little transfer portal update. And Tim popping over here to the JC's pop culture side as well. What's going on, Tim? Good to see you here. Let's go Mountaineers. Dogs Nation said first thing you would do after he downloads the game is look at rosters, then playbooks, then play now, then dynasty. You've already got it set up in sequential order the way you're going with it. I like that. I like that plan. Yeah, I'll probably take a peep at the rosters too. Going to have to do that, but maybe not. I'm hoping that soon they'll do a ratings reveal. Maybe that's something they're going to give us a deep dive of as well. That's something I'm really excited about. We've never had to have that, for college football players. So a college football ratings reveal would be awesome. But nonetheless, I'll probably take a look at the roster also. Check out, my team WVU, see how they're looking and shit. And then I'm diving into making that playbook, man. Take me a few hours, and then I'll hopefully, have an online dynasty rolling with some people before too long. Hopefully most people are getting the early access like me and be able to get one going. We're going to try to maybe have one going here with some subscribers here on JC's Pop Culture. If I can figure out Discord, I'm going to have to get, somebody that knows that shit to kind of show me how it works and maybe start up a Discord server for JC's Pop Culture, kind of use that to communicate if we need to, and maybe start up an online dynasty for us as well. There's going to be a few I'm in for sure. Buckman says, team builder, I just hope that I can make the uniforms easily and I will be happy. Yeah, me too. Me too. And I hope you have like multiple options too, because I remember last time you only had like the home and away. Hopefully they at least let you have like an alternate or something in there with it. But that's the only other thing that I had here was I wanted to show the Sports Gamers online article with some of the quotes from Mike Strahl. Same stuff that we've kind of been talking about here. See if I can zoom in here. And this was kind of his exact quotes. The option offense is one we kind of already talked about, but we didn't get this one. As according to Straw, if players are competing against teams like Georgia Tech, Army, or Navy, they will notice that these teams have efficient option offenses. However, if players are using an option-style offense, their team will have speed and urgency. Straw suggests the offense might be OP in EA Sports college football game. Like I said, who knows? That's neither here nor there in my opinion. Could it be? Maybe. Maybe not. And then, of course, his quote here about the 5-star players being different from the 2-star players. A 5-star player is going to act and react different on the field compared to a 2-star player, Straw said. There'll be a tell on the field that a 2-star is going up against a 5-star. Whether that's intimidation, I don't know, but there's going to be a physical difference in how they play on the field. And then, of course, talking a little bit about the wear and tear system. We highlighted a little bit out earlier. If they're not used to that, he's talking about the 2-star player here and how this wear and tear system can affect, kind of, I guess, lower rated players or players like at smaller schools, maybe. If they're not used to a high workload and you try and give them a high workload because, you broke a long touchdown with them. So then you try and give them 30 carries, and that's not their type of game. It's going to be noticeable. They're going to get injured. They're going to fumble, whatever. So that's just some of the quotes there. I wanted to share a little bit of them, his exact quotes from Sports Gamers Online. But I encourage you guys, if you haven't, go check out the full video. It's up on his YouTube page now, Mike Straw Media. Like I said, I'll try and link it in the video description after I get off here. But definitely check it out if you haven't already. Ton of great gameplay updates, and tried to share all of them there. I think that was most of them. Team builder release date. He talks a ton about playbooks, how different that they all are, and how many new formations are in the game. Seems like there's going to be a ton of those as well. So a lot of fun details, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. Like I said, guys, this stream may not be as long, but hopefully we'll be able to do another one here in the next couple of days once these deep dives come out and stuff. There's going to be a shit ton more news coming out about this game, and as it does throughout this month and throughout the month of June leading up to the July release, we're reporting on it all here on the JC's Pop Culture. So be sure to subscribe here if you haven't already, talking about it a ton, and then as well as movies and TV shows, especially superhero, horror, and comedy. All those are right up my alley. So if that's up your alley too, hop along for the ride here by pushing the subscribe button. And before you head out, whether you watch this live or if you're watching this after the fact on a playback, be sure to hit the thumbs up. Giving it a like really helps a shit ton with that YouTube algorithm. Helps us get pushed out more, helps us find more subscribers here, getting closer to our goal of 500. Would love to get to that before release of the game. But either way, you guys have done a great job. I'm already halfway home and, just starting to put content out on this channel, really frequently here in the past few months or so. So really appreciate you guys and how much you've tuned in lately. And I'm going to keep the content coming here for College Football 25 and keep these live streams coming too, because I know you guys like to talk about this game as well. And I like to hear your all's thoughts and questions too. So let me catch up on your all's comments one more time, and then we'll get ready to wrap this one up before too much longer, guys. Like I said, just wanted to update those gameplay details and all that good stuff. Will we see formation subs in College Football 25? Orlando asks. Yeah, I do expect that 100% to be in the game. I don't think that they've came out and said that directly yet, but I'm 100% expecting it to be in there. Tim says, I hope when this comes out that everyone is expecting it to be, and then some. I agree, Tim. That's awesome, man. That's really way to keep it positive and shit, man. 100%. That's the best thing we can all hope for, right? Is that it's not only our expectations, but maybe exceeds them. And, personally, I'm not trying to, just hype it up too much and just be all talking hyperbole here and shit, but I think that this has a great chance to be the best game or best football game EA Sports has ever made. Personally, I really do think that it has a great chance to be. Yeah, I think we'll see him for Dynasty Orlando. First thing Orlando says he'll do is check rosters, go to practice, test some gameplay, and then hit up the custom playbooks before Dynasty mode. Hey, hell yeah, hell yeah. Kyle rushing, will there be custom conferences? Yes, custom conferences, Kyle, are expected to be into the game. I believe they confirmed that, actually, or Matt Brown had confirmed it if EA hasn't officially yet. So definitely going to be in there for sure. We'll have the custom conferences. We'll just have to see to what length that means. I don't know exactly. We'll be able to create our own, or is it just customizing the ones that are already there and stuff? We'll be able to change the name and everything still. We'll find out more about that in the next couple of days. Yeah, definitely. Check out that video. Like I said, I'm going to link it in the description, but look it up on YouTube, Mike Straw Media. You'll see it right there, him giving all these great details and stuff. Mario says he needs mass subs to happen. Somebody's up 40 in the fourth quarter. He can pull his starters. Absolutely. With this wear and tear system, they'd be crazy not to have that in there, Mario. Got to be in there. Got to be in there. All right, let's check on the poll, guys. We'll end this poll real quick. See the results. If you guys got any final thoughts, any final questions there, throw them in there. I'm going to hit up these poll results, and then I'll catch up on any final comments, and then we'll wrap this thing up. Let's see what you guys think here on the poll. What are you most excited about from today's news? You get 66% gameplay details. Kind of expected that. That's what everybody's looking forward to the most. But hey, 16% each for custom playbooks and crowd reactions. None for Team Builder release date. Surprised. I guess a lot of people kind of expected that for the early July release. But all right, guys. I guess that's about it. Appreciate y'all hopping in here. I would run a little bit longer, chat with you guys more, but hey, got to work in the morning and that shit, comes early, unfortunately. But wanted to talk about some of these great updates. Shout out to Mike Straw for hooking us up with these tonight and sharing that live stream. And if you haven't watched it, go watch it in its entirety and hear it from him himself. Someone that's seen the game firsthand, watched clips, can tell you all about the gameplay. But hopefully I summed it up here nicely for you and gave you some great details. stuff that really excites you. Hopefully nothing that disappointed you too bad with, the no ESPN score bug and the no mascot mashups. But hey, in my case, I'm super excited. Custom playbooks are in. That's the only thing that I was really left worried about, was if those were going to be in or not. Now everything else is just, the cherry on top of the cake and shit for me. But more news coming out in the next couple of days for sure, guys. Be on the lookout for that. And I'll be putting content out on the channel as it does drop. The more news that drops, the more content that'll come here. So if you're a fan of EA Sports College Football, be sure to subscribe here to JC's Pop Culture, where I'll be talking about it a shit ton. If you didn't get a chance to hop in here live, leave your thoughts in the comments. Try and respond to you there in text form. Appreciate y'all hopping into this one, and I'll catch you on the next one.